Okay, our next and last for tonight presentation, Aaron Ramirez. Aaron serves as the Manager of Special Collections and Museum Services for the Pueblo City County Library District. And Aaron is going to give us a report on the Colorado Rock Art Association Rock Art Archives, which are at the main Pueblo Library. He's going to talk about accessing the online material. Aaron, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us and helping out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Peter. Thanks everyone for allowing me to present. And so I'll get right into it here. Share my screen. Okay, so this presentation is on how to use finding aids for the Colorado Rock Art Association collection held at the Rawlings Public Library in Pueblo, Colorado. My name is Aaron Ramirez, the manager of special collections, as Peter mentioned. My email is below, and this is recorded, so you can go back and reach out to me if you're interested in any of the things that I bring up today. So the Colorado Rock Art Association collection came to the Pueblo City County Library District in 2015. It was accessioned into our holdings. Before that, it was at the Colorado State University, and it's made its way down south. Once it was in our custody, volunteers began to process the collection, which included describing, organizing, and rehousing. So special thanks to Ann Whitfield and Fran Cosleon, who have continued to be volunteers and working with the materials today. Betsy Morgan, Pamela Owens, Barbara Potter, and Susan Simons. In 2019, the Sally Cole collection, Finding Aid, and digital collections were published. And so the rock art that you'll be seeing alongside the slides are from the John and Daphne Rudolph collection within CRAA collection. So here's the extent of the collection. So there's about 14 linear feet of published works that range from reports to books, monographs, etc., that have to do with the American Southwest, the US, and international rock art. We have total about 40 boxes, kind of banker's box sized boxes, measuring 37 linear feet with approximately 11,000 slides. That's kind of the majority of the materials there. But you can see that we have some kind of unique materials like latex molds, something that would be forbidden and taboo now, I guess, was something that a process that was used in the past. Rubbings on paper, and then cultural resource survey management data forms. And so the contributors within this collection are Dr. Bill Buckles, Nancy Buckles, Del Crandall, Peter Ferris, Paul and Judy Foster, Dick Gamewell, Bill Hammond, Lawrence Lohendorf, Mike Vasili, Bill McClone, Gary and Sylvia Morishani, Terry McMurphy, Nancy Robertson, John and Daphne Rudolph, Bill Wagner, and Ann Whitfield. So you can access this material in person at the Rawlings Library in Pueblo, and then you can also access them online through the Finding Aid, which will lead you to our digital collections, and the links are there. So a Finding Aid is a form that serves as an point of access to materials. you'd have a card catalog, would be a bibliographic type method for this. Finding aid is a way to find and discover archival collections, and it's usually an aggregate. So I've said what is a finding aid. The finding aid is for everyone. With specifically for this collection, it would be kind of aimed at archaeologists. There are some things that are site locations are restricted, of course. We're using guidance from the Colorado Office of Archaeological and Historic Preservation. So you can access the finding aid at any time. It's available online globally. And I will show you where that is, the URL soon. And why create or provide a finding aid? The reason is because so we took the collection into our holding and we're preserving it indefinitely because of the value of the materials there, which include historical photos of rock art across Colorado. And there's some outside of Colorado as well. But for the most part, these are precious materials and information that we want to help persist. But if nobody gets to see that material, then we're not really doing our job. So the finding aid is the instrument to provide access and discovery to those materials. So in the future, we will be digitizing more visual materials from the collection, do more outreach and promotion of the collection and in collaboration with CRAA, and then use proper reference services under the guidance of the state. And we have a vault renovation coming up soon, which will improve our environment and the space that we keep the collections. So I'm going to do something that's probably not recommended, I guess. I'm going to do a live demonstration here and we'll see how it goes. Well, that was pretty painless. Okay, so you can see here that we have, this is the finding aid, the Colorado Rock Art Association collection. So the program that we use is called Archive Space. It's a platform to create finding aids. On the left, you can see just basic components or modules that make up sort of the preferred or recommended elements of a finding aid. So we have a scope and content note, which tells you what's in the collection, the dates, which is a range, conditionings governing access, and a historical biographical note, as well as an extent, a physical extent. So this is the same for all of our collections. And then on the right, you can see how the collection is organized. And so the finding aid works in a hierarchical kind of format. So you can see we've separated them, and I authored this finding aid. So every archivist will have different sort of experiences and looks in creating the finding aid. But my goal was to make it so that it reflected the operations of the organization, sort of. So what I've done is separated the materials out into the material types. So we've got documents and notes within this. You can kind of you can select this tree here, and I will open this up. And so each one of these things is a folder title. So usually in archival description, you wouldn't go to an item level of description because, for example, cataloging 11,000 slides is quite a task, and so to provide the most access the quickest, we would describe an aggregate. And so you can see William McGlone's Ogham and Geoglyph Research folder. And so the title gives the user, or I guess the goal here is to give the researcher enough information to say, hey, this would be of interest to me. So let me go down to Pueblo and have a look, or at least let me make contact with the archivist there, the staff there, and they can go from there. So we were careful to, we've included the Smithsonian trinomials as they appeared on the folders that we received. But we have not, for example, given exact coordinates or locations at all for those sites. So going down into tracing and moldings, or molds. So this Colorado Archaeological Society Denver chapter, this was a great amount of work was transferred over during that original transfer. And so a lot of this, the dates you can see there, I think it's like 1935 to 2009. The majority of the materials held here are in 70s, 80s, early 90s. So let's see, let's go to photographic slides. And so for each person here, we could open that up. And you can see, so Del Crandall, slide album 1. And so we have these images here. So you have Picket Wire Canyon, Vogel Canyon, some popular ones there. So another option here is to go to do a search. So let's click on Colorado Rock Art Association again. You can search collection. Let's see, let's just search Picket Wire, for example. And you can see each instance that Picket Wire appears in the description of these things. So we have Owl Canyon and Picket Wire Canyon, box 19, folder 19. And so you can see below, this is a print from Gary and Sylvia Morshani. Probably not doing good with the name, I apologize. And so you can see that there's an assortment of materials relevant to Picket Wire Canyon. So let's see. Another example, we could do a trinomial. And so we found site 5MF 610. So lots of tracings and molds and things from this site. Let's see. So an example of so with this, you would ask, so where can I see the rock art, right? So with this, a good example of how we would accomplish that could be found in Sally Cole collection. Apologize for all the mad scrolling here. So the Sally Cole collection was one of the first sets of materials that we kind of parceled out and worked on. So you could see scope and content, bio, historical. If you click on, let's see, her manuscript, for example, you can click on this button and it will take you to our digital collections. And time is running out here, so So this is the full report. Pinyon Canyon project is here for free. Barking dog in the background, that's okay. So you can also find Sally Cole collection through the digital archive sites here. But of course it's not loading, so that's okay. Let me just get to the rock art before our time runs out. So what we did here was we took the slide boxes as they appeared to us as we were processing them. We transferred the label name of the box. And so this in 1984, August 1984, Hackberry Springs. We clicked on that. It gives you a description of elements within that slide box that you can find 29 slides of. You click on that little button, and then it will show you all of the slides from that box. You can click Anne and Fran work to pull together kind of tags or and description on the image. And then if you want to see the larger version, it's right there. And so let me kind of, you can get there from pueblolibrary.org is our website. Click on resources and special collections. And then we have the archives for the finding aids. You go to collections and you can look through all of our archival collections. And then the digital collection, you can get through the finding aid, but also through that site. And you can see all of our great virtual exhibits, which don't have a lot to do with rock art at all, but are very interesting. So I'm going to stop sharing. And yeah, so I think I'm right at 9 o'clock. So yeah, the dog's name is Gumball. He's a yellow lab mix. So
That's
enjoying his
great.
Friday night.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Aaron.
that
Thank you
was
very
great.
much. One
That is-
question. If someone wants to add materials to the archives, assuming that you are open to acquiring new materials, how would they do this?
Yeah, the first step would be to contact me, send me an email or give me a call, and we can start the process of talking about what it is that you have, and we can just kind of go from there. We make a commitment to preserve that material forever. The district is in a very good place, and I think we'll be around for generations long after I'm gone. So we want to make sure that we take good care of the precious materials. Yeah. So but yeah, just give me a call. Yeah.
On a historical note, the archives originated with a discussion between me and Jason LaBelle at Jose O'Shea's restaurant with a pitcher of beer, and the next day some vague memories that we discussed something like this. We got together and hashed it out later.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, the buildings that the Center for Public Archaeology were in up here at CSU have been torn down.
Yeah, I know they were scheduled to.
Yeah, they're in the process right now. I think it's going to go into some low-income housing, but thank you for getting them out of there. I'm sure they were looking for a place for storage.
Well, a lot of people were involved in finding the new place to store them, and we're grateful to the people who helped, and we're grateful to Pueblo for accepting the material, because the whole point is protecting it. Anyway.
And access.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you to everybody tonight. We will reconvene tomorrow, again if you wish, 5:30 to say hi to your friends again. 6 o'clock with the first talk by Larry Lohendorf, our keynote speaker, followed then tomorrow night by David Suchek and Linnea Sundstrom. So it'll be another good night. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your cooperation. I appreciate everybody's help.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. And
See you
it's
tomorrow.
it's almost 10 o'clock here down here in West Texas. So I'm going to take your leave and enjoy the papers tomorrow, because I'm hoping they'll be able to be recorded so I can watch them later. So thanks again to all the speakers and to all the attendees. We certainly do appreciate it. And Peter, thank you again. And Joel also. So take care, and we'll see you next time.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good
Thanks
night.
again, Joel.
Good night.